As a Christian, it is essential to evaluate the values and policies of any political party to determine if they align with biblical principles. Unfortunately, liberal Democrats often promote ideologies that contradict Christian teachings, making it challenging for believers to trust them. One of the primary reasons for this distrust is the liberal Democratic stance on abortion. The Democratic Party's platform strongly supports a woman's right to choose, which translates to unrestricted access to abortion. This stance is in direct conflict with the biblical teaching that all human life is sacred and created in the image of God, Genesis 1:27, Psalm 139, 13-14. Furthermore, liberal Democrats often advocate for policies that undermine traditional family values, such as same-sex marriage and transgender rights. While Christians are called to love and respect all individuals, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity, the Bible clearly teaches that marriage is between one man and one woman, Genesis 2:24, Matthew 19:4-6. The Democratic Party's support for LGBT+ rights, including the Equality Act, would force Christians to compromise their convictions and participate in practices that go against their faith. This raises concerns about the erosion of religious freedom and the ability of Christians to live out their faith without fear of persecution or reprisal. Another reason Christians may struggle to trust liberal Democrats is their approach to economic policy. The Democratic Party often promotes socialism and big government, which can lead to a lack of personal responsibility and a dependence on the state. In contrast, the Bible teaches that individuals have a responsibility to work hard and provide for themselves and their families, 2 Thessalonians 3:10-12, 1 Timothy 5:8. While Christians are called to care for the poor and vulnerable, this should be done through voluntary acts of charity and compassion, rather than relying on the government to redistribute wealth. Additionally, liberal Democrats often prioritize environmentalism and climate change over human life and dignity. The Green New Deal, for example, proposes drastic measures to reduce carbon emissions, which could have devastating consequences for the economy and human well-being. While Christians are called to be stewards of the earth, Genesis 1:1-8, this should not come at the expense of human life and dignity. The Bible teaches that human life is more valuable than the earth and its resources, Matthew 6:26, Luke 12:6-7. The Democratic Party's stance on Israel is also a concern for many Christians. The party's growing anti-Israel sentiment and support for the boycott, divestment, and sanctions BDS movement are troubling, given the biblical significance of Israel and the Jewish people, Genesis 12:3, Romans 11:25-26. Christians have a responsibility to stand with Israel and support its right to exist as a sovereign nation. Finally, the liberal democratic approach to education and healthcare raises concerns about the role of government in these areas. The Democratic Party's support for universal healthcare and free college tuition, while well-intentioned, could lead to a lack of personal responsibility and a reliance on the state. The Bible teaches that individuals have a responsibility to take care of their own needs and the needs of their families, 2 Thessalonians 3:10-12, 1 Timothy 5:8. While Christians are called to care for the poor and vulnerable, this should be done through voluntary acts of charity and compassion, rather than relying on the government to provide for all needs. In conclusion, as a Christian, it is challenging to trust liberal Democrats due to their stance on issues such as abortion, traditional family values, economic policy, environmentalism, Israel, education, and healthcare. While Christians are called to love and respect all individuals, regardless of their political affiliations, it is essential to evaluate the values and policies of any political party to determine if they align with biblical principles. By understanding the biblical teachings on these issues, Christians can make informed decisions about which political party to support and how to engage with the political process in a way that honors God.